What's up, everybody? I just wanted to go ahead and give y'all guys a quick disclaimer. Unfortunately, in this video there are some, I guess to say, poor audio quality points, and I just wanted to give y'all guys a quick apology for that. Everything is still audible, there's just a little bit of background noise, or like it just doesn't sound up to par to my standards. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick apology about that. And there's also some parts in this video where you will also notice me doing a voiceover, because unfortunately the files, I guess, got corrupted and it recorded the video but there was no audio. So could have been user faults, but who knows. And with that being said, I just wanted to give you guys just a super quick disclaimer about that. And once again, I apologize, but I don't want to hold you guys for too long. I want you to go ahead and go see this video. So without further ado, I'm going to send you guys over to the video.
This is gonna be fun. Am I looking forward to not doing this? What's up, everybody? Say Too Low back again with another video. Today we have a big project. This is my 2000 GMC Sierra single cab stepside. Today's video we are doing a heater core and an EVAP core. The whole dash has to come out. It's gonna be a long progress and process. Huge shout out to the homie for allowing me to use his shop to do this for the meantime. The homies are gonna be around to help out with this video, so it should be fun. It's not gonna be fun, but hanging out with the homies will be fun. I'm not looking forward to doing this. This is my first time pulling an entire dash out by myself. We'll see how this is gonna go, and that's kind of the intro for today's video. Let's roll that intro video and then get this going. Okay, so as you guys can see, the first thing we need to do is go ahead and take this battery and disconnect it. As you guys can see, I got these extra wires running everywhere. This has a big 3 upgrade, which if you don't know what that is, it basically helps with the electrical system and the charging system for like a sound system and whatnot. I'm gonna have to take all of this off, and with the Chevys from this year model, they have like side post terminals. But I bought a battery that has both, so I can, do my sound system stuff. Long story short, this all has to come off so I can disconnect the battery. So we're gonna get that knocked out real quick, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the next step on this, we're basically just going to start by getting this upper dash pieces out. So this needs to come out. There's bolts all up in here, and basically the same thing on the other side. As you can tell, the dash is like already cracked. Good thing is I have a new dash and I have a new front plate like that goes on the dash, as you can see, because I'm missing all of it. A little bit of cleaning to do, as you can see. We're gonna start there and start basic, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we're back. I know I skipped a lot of parts, but I didn't figure y'all wanted to see all that. So we got like basically the dash off, and all we lack now is getting the heater core actually replaced and the EVAP core actually replaced. I'm gonna have to look and see how this is actually gonna go, because we had a little bit of trouble over here with like the steering wheel, so we weren't able to completely move this dash out. So I'm going to see if maybe we can work around it and split the EVAP case and then replace the heater core and then the EVAP core, and then go back together with the way it is now. Hopefully I remember how everything goes back together, because this is not an easy job. I mean, everything's apart and gone. Hope to have it like all back together soon. We'll see what happens, and just stick with me for now, and I'll cut back to if I get the heater core and EVAP core replaced without issues, or if I have issues, you'll see that we have issues. So I'll get back to you then. Alright guys, so we finally got the dash back apart. Good luck thing is we didn't have to remove the steering wheel to get this side out, because the EVAP case was basically from the middle of the truck over here. So we had issues. That was my personal issues on the pulling the EVAP case, because there's some bolts and stuff. If you hear wind noise, I'm sorry. There's bolts and stuff, and this bolt right here I was missing. But we got everything out, so we are halfway there. So I'm worried about putting everything back together to see how easy this is going to be. Not easy at all, by the way. But here's the EVAP case. I'm going to go ahead and tear everything down and swap our parts over, and then I'll get back to you guys when we are ready to throw everything back in.
Alright guys, so we basically have the EVAP case completely apart. We just took the heater core off. but I just wanted to show you guys real fast what these heater cores looks like. Let me get y'all a closer look at this real quick. So we basically have some coolant buildup right there. As you can tell, it's clearly orange, and you know Chevrolets use that orange Dexcool coolant. There's some more on the back side. To be fair, this one isn't actually that bad, but I definitely noticed like a coolant smell when the heat was on. I mean, I've seen some worse ones from like just leaking straight like in the cabin. So all we got left now is to split the EVAP case and then get this EVAP core out, and hopefully that goes, you know, simple and well. We'll have to see and make do what we got from there, but it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully this goes pretty easy, and then let's just knock this out real quick, guys. Catch y'all then. Alright guys, so we basically have everything off now. We have the God man, these nasty looking cabin filters. I honestly didn't even know that these trucks had cabin filters. Whoever owned it before me definitely didn't either. Yeah, now we have the cabin filters out, the EVAP core is out, the heater core is out. EVAP core, honestly, I don't really know what a bad one actually looks like. I'm just hoping that it maybe fixes an issue I have with, like, I know it also had like a super slow AC leak. Note to you guys as well, if y'all ever do a heater core or if y'all ever do an EVAP core, do both of them at the same time. You're already there. You don't want to replace just the heater core, and then a couple of thousand miles later your EVAP core just goes out. You know, relatively inexpensive. Just a note for you guys. But this EVAP core is a real chunky boy, because the newer ones like I see in the newer vehicles aren't as big, but to be fair, this is an older truck, it's going to be a bigger, you know, EVAP core. Splitting the case apart wasn't too bad. I just happened to notice the fact that like I had glue on it, and one piece started prying up, and then that's when I noticed that it was glue, because then it all started coming off. So here's all the parts. Now we just have to basically reverse procedure. We're halfway there, guys. So we're gonna put the heater core, the EVAP core, and some new cabin filters. I'm gonna run to the parts store and get some new cabin filters for sure.
Made a good amount of progress today. We're actually going back in with everything. I stopped last night, put the EVAP case back in, and I started all but one of the bolts to hold the EVAP case back in, because one of them's like behind the intake and way up down in there. It sucks to get to, so I just hand started all the other ones. That way, when I'm gone for the night, it wasn't less chance of it falling or whatnot. So that's where we're at. I'm ready to get back to it, but first of all, boy, gotta eat first. I gotta stay energized and I need to get my calories. So I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna show you guys where I'm at, and then we're gonna go ahead and put everything back together. Hopefully it goes easier than expected, but I'm gonna get my grub on. Alright, so like I said, I was gonna show y'all. So we got the EVAP case all back on. Nothing's been like mounted as far as wiring harness and stuff goes. So it's all back on. I got the bolts started. And to show you the front, if you hear some wind noise, my apologies, but yeah, there's the new EVAP core, new heater core. I got all the bolts started, as you can see, but I'm fixing to start by running them all down. And I also have a brand new receiver dryer that I have not put in yet. So once I put all these bolts in and tighten them all down, then I'm gonna put the new receiver jar in, and then we'll be good to go from there and start putting everything else back in. So let's do that. All right, so we got everything basically put together. Thankfully I took some pictures and stuff to remember like where some of these connectors go, like this one here, and then this little push pin is gonna go in there, and then this also pushes in there. Good to take pictures of things when you do big jobs like this. It comes in handy. All of my speaker stuff and my amp, these are for cigarette lighter, airbag, climate controls, and then we put all the stuff back together up here for the most part. So at this point, all we gotta do is get these little subframe pieces mounted. As you can tell, I don't have the bolts down. Put all the push pins in. We should be able to start putting like the actual outside trim pieces back on, and then come to a close on this operation, hopefully quickly. But with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the point where we get there. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right guys, a little update. We are just about there. We are missing the gauge cluster, all the little things that go in here, the radio, AC, and vents, and airbag thing. But yeah, first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and run this across here, because that's how I ran it last time, across my gauge cluster. But I'm gonna actually see about maybe hiding it a little bit better. I think I'm gonna go behind these little two frame pieces right here. And yeah, this is my new dash, by the way, so no cracks or anything. The only issue we ran into is that daylight sensor up there. The daylight sensor hole is bigger than what the original one was, if that makes sense, and so now it just kind of hangs out there. At some point it'll probably crack again, but no telling, we'll see. But let's continue running this, which we're just about there. I just gotta get some of these wires run, and then once I get that to the radio, I can put this piece on, and I'm gonna get all these back in, plugged in. Then I'm gonna go to the radio, get all this stuff plugged back in, and then put the gauge cluster back in, and then do the vents, and I'll get back to you guys whenever all that is put back together. So let's do that. Okay, so everything's back on. Got the brand new dash on, got this brand new front faceplate on, but everything's back together, so it's just a matter of cleaning up, putting my battery back on, firing this thing up. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually test it because I gotta go take it to a shop to get the AC recharged. I will do that tomorrow, but it should fix everything. So here we go. Let's see what happens, and I'll be back then.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, a couple of days later, and to my expectations, it did fix it. So we have working heater, brand new EVAP core, brand new receiver dryer. I recharged the AC, and I originally had issues with the blower motor not coming on. I was a little confused there. Long story short though, the fix to it was basically me unplugging the blower motor and plugging it back in, and it started working. So I'm assuming some kind of loose connection ever so slightly. But I also had an issue with my blend door actuator for the heat and AC. It basically would only go to heat, and that was a problem I had before I even started the heater core and EVAP core job. Everything's fixed, everything's working now. So with that being said, that's gonna be it for today's video. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and I'll see all you guys later.